Welcome. I'm Lori at Positive Thanks Living, and today we're working on tags using translucent or slightly opaque substrates. This is baking paper, and I used it when I was dyeing red cabbage water on paper. So these tags are examples of red cabbage. And I discovered that I'm enjoying baking paper for a few different reasons, as opposed to using tracing paper, which sometimes when you add glue, the glue shows up. Or the same with, as lovely as mulberry paper is, it has its issues, as does vellum. So I'm trying to use up baking paper because I have it. Use what you have. I made this journal with pockets. And when I was dyeing the paper, I'd put it on the baking paper and it absorbed some of the color. So I now have pockets in a journal. What else? For each of the pockets, I'm going to put a big tag in. And the toppers on each tag will have some similarities. This design is a punch, but there are added things in each one that will have things that will stick out and make them unique. So, baking paper. Back to baking paper. Make a little seed packet out of the baking paper. Put in a pocket. Use it as a belly band. That's a die cut as a ticket. What else? You can die cut and make a little multi-winged, whether it's a dragonfly or a butterfly. Baking paper is just translucent enough to and opaque enough to notice on the page, and yet it disappears. It's light and airy, and it doesn't add a lot of bulk, because that's another thing. This journal has an extremely narrow spine. These papers are from Sandra at Be Happy Stationery. I'll link below to where you can find the digitals. They're beautiful. Baking paper. What else can you do? Baking paper, parchment paper, is strong. I sewed this, and it's holding paper and fabric. I crinkled it up to give it more texture. So even with the crinkling, you've got nice, strong place to put it. Yeah, okay, there's another topper. You can stamp on it. You have to be careful the kind of ink you use. It has to be permanent. I have a feeling that StazOn ink will work well, but I don't own any of that. The Memento ink, when I tried it, this is Memento ink, and you can smudge it. The Distress ink, well, it completely goes away. But the archival ink, because it is acid, I suppose because it says permanent and waterproof, it lasts. But you can print and then write underneath. So that worked nicely. I'm trying to show you the topper of each one. Oh, and you can use baking paper, ruffle it, and put it on it as a topper. Baking paper pockets. Baking paper. Yes, what's in this one? I have a little sewn pocket, sewn container. And these are from last year. I dried them. My daughter-in-law gave me a little plant. Daffodils are my favorite. So They've dried completely. I don't want to use them. It's Easter time again. Hopefully the daffodils will show up. And now I can keep it in a spot and see it again later. Topper, button, baking paper. You can hide things. Now, before we wanted a place to write. This time, look at the little bunny. Isn't he sweet? And with this trim, it looks like he's hiding behind grass. And there's still a place to write. So, there's another option. Baking paper. Little strips, little pieces, torn. I glued them on, so they're fairly strong. I mean, if I really wanted to, I could pull them off. Did some sewing, so those won't tear. But it makes for an interesting texture. It'd be neat to just sort of hide something under there. I have some. Let's do that together real quick. One of these. No. Vellum stickers. Yeah, real quick. Let's see whether I can get it off. There we go. And we're hiding the little flower underneath. There. Can we see him? I don't know. There we go. Maybe. It's hidden, but it's there. A little bit of lace as a topper. Die cuts again. A dress from die cuts, little leaves, makes something very special. And this is a embossing folder, and you can emboss baking paper. It doesn't break, it doesn't crack. Unlike vellum, sometimes I've had a problem with vellum and with tracing paper. Baking paper is more sturdy. So I'm working up to 25 different ways of doing things with baking paper. Here are some. There's no baking paper here yet. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. But I have an idea for this one. What if underneath on the back side of this, I'm just going to tear. What if I just had something written on here? But not so that you can see it easily, rather that it is disguised. We use a pencil and just write a few words. Spring. Hope. Easter. What else can I write? Love. Gentleness. Hopefully the storms of spring are past. We can have a gentle growth time. What else? I don't know. But you can't read them but you know there's writing there. Let's put a little bit of glue down. Okay, do it this way. How about we use a little, this is Mariner Distress Oxide. And that's the one I'm using throughout the journal and throughout the tags. Here's a little color. This is art glitter glue in the little bottle. I like art glitter glue a lot I don't use it all the time. It depends what I'm using it for. All right, let's put some more flowers on here. Let's go for some pink underneath or on top. Ah, those are pretty. How about that? Now to get them off the backing. My nails are suffering from all the tea dyeing and the ink and the distressing. How are you doing? Are you well? Are you working on something right now? Leave a comment below. Let me know what you're working on. If you have a channel, I'd love to come visit. There. Now you can see that there's writing underneath there, but you can't read it until you go like this. So there's another way to use baking paper. Disguise the writing. Let's make a little more for the topper. I have this. I tea dyed it because it was extremely bright. So tea dye works. How about we just snip this and this. I have a number of journals on the go. My goal is to be finished by Tuesday, the end of the month, because I make videos on Fridays and Tuesdays, or at least I release them. And because I've been working on so many things, I've had some interesting insights. And I'll share that when I do flip throughs of each of the finished projects, including this one. I have a lot of work to do this week, but I know that April is going to be more busy than March, so that's why I chose March to challenge myself with a great number of journals. The red cabbage dyeing was fascinating because the colors came out so uniquely. I must admit, it is extremely stinky. Now, the smell has dissipated quite a bit now. I wouldn't say that it's without smell. My idea is the next time I do more of this, I'm going to put them in a Ziploc bag with a set with baking soda, meaning just a pouch of baking soda, and see whether that absorbs the smell. And the other one with drier, I'll do another grouping with drier sheets and see if that smell helps also. I feel as though there should be something below. What do you think? So this is let's do that. And it'll help strengthen the tear. There. What else? A little bit of fabric. Yeah, let's do that. Thanks for joining me. Again, I'm Laurie at Positive Thanks Living. The name of the channel represents how I want to live with gratitude and optimism. And I hope I can share that with you all also. And I wish you happy crafting.